Good afternoon, everyone. I am in the process of making pizza. I am on my lunch break, and I thought I would just go ahead and do session 1 of the divorce care book that talks about deep hurt, you guys. It's the surprising effects of divorce is what it says, and I'll tell you what, it is overwhelming emotions of confusion and pain in your heart as you're going through your recovery process of a divorce. So I had married an ex-alcoholic, and they talk about recovery all the time, in AA, and the recovery process. And I can tell you guys, as someone who's never done drugs or anything like that before, going through recovery has been, for me, something that is just part of the journey. And it is something that has made me stronger throughout the process. Recovery to me is just getting through the other end of the circumstances that you're in and changing, making yourself better and building up your self-worth and making that conscious decision to just turn from your wicked ways, And it was hard for me to understand recovery with my ex-husband because he was an alcoholic, and recovery was a daily challenge, a daily reminder of himself of making the change. And I always had confusion because I just didn't understand why he could just why can't you just say no? Why can't you just change and be better, be a better person? I could never understand why they put so much emphasis on recovery. And through my divorce and divorce care, talking about divorce recovery, I can tell you I still feel the same way. I don't understand why you can't use your recovery as a turning point of making things right. And I love the divorce care sessions and the meetings that I had because it was a weekly journal, really, of what you were going through. It was just a time where you could rely on each other and have support like an AA meeting would be. But it was something that you're doing more of an inner search. And I think if AA would do more of an inner search in their talking more positively, maybe AA could be a really good thing like it used to be intended for AA to be. But now it's become very cliquish and very, what's that word? It's become very anonymous and kind of making excuses for why you drink. And that is not every AA meeting, I know, but that is my experience with AA. But through the divorce recovery, I'm not even having to go to these groups anymore. I'm not having to do this. It was like a 6-week course of how to recovery, and then you take this and you utilize it and you use it in your life. And so session 1 is about deep hurt. And I want to tell you guys, going through a divorce, especially if it's unexpected, unwanted, you don't know what is happening, you're confused, you are questioning your whole marriage. You question, why did I marry this person? Why did I stay so long? And then at the same time, even though you're feeling relieved sometimes to get away from the bad things in your relationship that kind of tied you down and bogged you down, and maybe conviction of sin and all that, but you feel a little relieved sometimes, but you don't understand why this is happening, and sometimes it's sudden. Usually that person wants to be with someone else. I understand if you are going through this pain and the deep, deep hurt that it causes. You guys, I've been watching David Clark, and he talks about narcissists and being married to narcissists and how to get out of that kind of a marriage or a relationship with the narc. And I can tell you, even by experience, even if you realize through the separation or through the divorce itself that you are married to a narcissist, you're still going to have this deep pain and hurt in your spirit. Especially as a Christian believer, you're going to have it because you're not going to understand what God's plan is. And especially if you married that person based on your faith. And that's where I was in mine. And so the video outline for this session is the devastation. And I wrote down there was no warning, no communication, and I'm very confused on the why. That was my experience. And then it says rebuilding takes time because divorce is long, it's complicated, it's invasive, it's disorienting, and it's confusing, emotionally overwhelming. It's a and separation of a marriage of two people who became one in your marriage. And like I said in my last video, it is a separation from God. When that other person is cheating on you, or they leave you, or they're abusive, they're not right with God as a Christian believer. So, God says don't get divorced. But if you are unequally yoked, then you need to let that person go. That is one thing I was told by the pastor at our church and in counseling, to let my ex-spouse go, make his own decisions, and focus on me and my decisions. So rebuilding takes planning, like I said, focusing on your own decisions, the things that you can control. And monitor your habits, your exercise, and taking care of yourself and eating, and surround yourself with trustworthy friends to help you, which is what I did, care group and church friends. And if you're a Christian believer, I would say stand up and surround yourself with those that are Christians and other believers in Jesus Christ, because they can go to the Bible and help you as you're trying to figure out what is happening and why God would allow it. And I can tell you through my care group at church, these are friends that knew me and my husband, and to hear them say, this is wrong. It's wrong, and you're right. You need to let him go, and you're right. You need to let him make his own decisions. Don't fight a divorce with a narc, definitely. You're going to feel that relief. You will feel that relief of that separation once you are recovering and you can take care of yourself and you can understand the why it's happening. Everything will become very clear to you as you are going through your separation and your recovery. So, this talks about Teresa's story on here. Wisdom and encouragement for your new journey. So not only is a divorce the separation of an old life, it's like you got your old self and your new self as a Christian believer. And I really do feel like my divorce was protection. It was God's protection over me and my children from separating us from evilness or destruction in my family. And in my home. And it is very, very reassuring to have those around me who also agree. And God's message to you, it says here, save me, O God, for the waters have come up to my neck. That is how you will feel as you're going through your divorce. I sink in the miry depths where there is no foothold. I have come into the deep waters. The floods engulf me. I am worn out, calling for help. Psalm 69, 1-3. You will definitely get worn out through your divorce. to a point where you surrender all, as a Christian believer, and say, okay, God, this is you. This is all you. This may be something that God is doing for you, like I said, for protection. How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and day after day after day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? But I trust in you, God, in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. Psalm 13, 2-5. So it talks about, when David wrote these Psalms, why was he having difficulties, feeling like he was drowning? And I think it all comes down to that spiritual battle is what I wrote down here. Drowning with spiritual battle within yourself. If you are the person who filed for divorce and you're a Christian believer, then I would question, why would you ever want to disobey God's word? And why would you ever want to divide your family? And especially if you have kids, the effects a divorce has on a family and those children is, it's very hard to put back together. If that is something that happens in the future, it is only by God. You aren't the first or last to experience the emotions you're feeling. That was the great thing about divorce care. I wasn't alone. There was men and there was women in my group, and to listen to the men whose women left them, it was just eye-opening to me. God has provided psalms to help you express the sorrows, hopes, and the regrets to him. And that is one thing, you will have a regret. You will be like, God, why did I marry this person in the first place? Why did I stay so long? Why did I allow myself to not see those red flags? And you will feel embarrassed. And I circled that. It says, I felt embarrassed and I was angry, very, very angry. That was a quote from Richard. And, Richard is right. I felt embarrassed. I felt very embarrassed as a Christian believer, definitely, that my spouse wasn't equally yoked with me and I was married to him. And, the honesty of my marriage was, I felt that way for a very long time. We were unequally yoked, and I just never thought that my spouse would ever do this to me. So when it first happened, I really doubted his intentions and what he was doing and why he would even do this as a Christian believer. And it was my faith that really kind of helped me understand, that I can't stop it. I can't stop my divorce, and I need to move on with my life as a single Christian mom. That's what this channel is about, is being a Christian single mom. How do we use our faith and fight for our family and fight for our freedom and our rights under the Constitution of the United States of America? How do we fight for the Christian values and beliefs that we have for our family? And, the struggle is real when you're getting divorced. I can say that. So it says, tackle tasks, not projects. Prioritize by importance, and chart your to-do list. So you can go to divorcecare.org, and they will have a list of things that you can do to help you get through this time. And so I answer some of these questions. Here's a Bible verse. It says, give your burdens to the Lord, and he will take care of you. Psalms 55:22. I circled that, highlighted it. It says, according to these verses, what will God do for you when the people that want to hurt you come against you? You guys, I'm still going through this. I'm still going through trials. And it's trials for my divorce. Like I said, I put on here, it was for my care of me and my children and my protection. And once you understand that, it's just easier to let things go. What burdens are you currently carrying? What does Psalm 55:22 say to do with those burdens? I wrote down accusations, revenge, morals changed, co-parenting. I can tell you, when my husband filed for divorce, it gave me an opportunity to build my relationship closer to Jesus Christ as my firm foundation, my spiritual leader of my family, my savior, my protector, my provider, my healer. And I rededicated my life to Jesus. And it refocused me. It just made a shift. And as I was recovering through my divorce, I started to realize that I need to give my life to God. So I'm just going to share my journey with you, and in prayers that what I'm saying will help someone out there. And again, it is like you're walking through a war zone, but God will give you the things that you need. And God is your mercy, your strength, your shield, your resolve, your fortress, your refuge, and your deliverer. And so that was session 1. And session 2 will be Road to Recovery. And I'll do that probably tomorrow for you guys. But this is a journey. That's a good way of thinking about it. It's your journey, your story, and we all have a story to tell. And so that's what this channel is about, is telling our story and giving our life over to God, doing what's right. That's my number one thing right now. I went to care group last night with my church, and it was very, very eye-opening to me to just know that I'm surrounded by love and care and people who know the situation I'm in, and they are giving me the confidence in me that I need, because I already feel bad enough and embarrassed that my spouse divorced me. And they know the truth. And like the leader of the group says, the truth shall set you free. And maybe this is a chance to be a witness to your spouse. So I hope this is encouraging to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe as I continue on with my journey with you. Share your experiences. Leave a comment below. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.